Hi, everybody. Thank you for coming to our letter writing party for voter turnout. I'm Meghan Ross, Seed&Spark's head of creator success. So we'll jump into the slides shortly. We'd first like to acknowledge the land we are all on is occupied territory. Please check the YouTube live comments feed for a link to a First Nations COVID relief fund and an amazing app that will tell you exactly whose land you are currently watching from, or in the video description if you're watching this as a VOD. I am coming to you from the land originally belonging to Jumanos, Tonkawa, Coeltican, and Comanche. If you're not familiar with Seed&Spark, we are a platform built to support creators by providing tools for wherever you are in your journey, from crowdfunding and education to creative distribution approaches. And we are so excited tonight to be partnering with two organizations doing amazing work to turn out the vote. First, I'd like to introduce Swing Left's Texas State Director, who fields a lot of my questions and emails throughout this process, Erica Rocha, to tell you about what they do.
Hello, everyone, and thank you, Meghan. I'm so excited to be joining all of you tonight. My name is Erica Rocha, and I'm the Texas State Director for Swing Left. I have been working with Swing Left since 2019 here in Texas, and I've been working primarily with some amazing volunteer leaders across the state. Swing Left started out as an organization in 2018 that wanted to connect everyone to their nearest swing districts and help people find the most impactful actions to help us take back control of the U.S. House and help us flip the House. And we were, with your support and so many supportive volunteer leaders and grassroots leaders across the country, we were able to flip the House. And now we have bigger goals and larger territory to cover as we move into 2020. And so our work in 2020 focuses on flipping what we're calling the 12 super states. The 12 super states are states in which we're going to focus on key races to help us do a couple of things. One is help us take back the White House. Two is help us take a majority in the Senate. And three, help us break Republican stronghold in state governments across these states by winning key elections and key state legislative races in our 12 super states. I've been lucky enough to do this work in Texas with Meghan and so many other volunteer leaders who have helped us. We're doing this a couple of ways. One is we're helping donate and fundraise so that these candidates are not outspent. And the second thing we're doing is we are helping to equip volunteer leaders, and we're hoping to build a grassroots army of volunteers that will help us get these candidates across the finish line and help them win big this November. And so I'm excited to be here as we get closer to what we call our Get Out the Vote phase. We've started a new initiative called The Last Weekends, where we're encouraging massive volunteer mobilization, and we're encouraging everyone to sign up for a shift to help us win this November. And so we know that this election is going to require all of us, and we know that it's not just enough to vote, we have to volunteer. So you can all find out about the Last Weekends and sign up by visiting thelastweekends.org.
Thank you so much, Erica. And we'll remind y'all at the end of the event as well, because thelastweekends.org is going to be our call to action for you guys to continue this work. So thank you again, Erica, for answering all my many questions throughout this process and helping me make what I call the unholy trinity cry, which is Governor Abbott's and Senators Cruz and Cornyn. So next, I'd like to introduce actor, singer, dancer, and Vote Forward senior trainer, Tiana Okoye, to tell you more about what their organization does.
Hello, everyone. Thank you, Meghan. My name is Tiana Okoye, and I actually started off with Vote Forward as a volunteer, and I'm a grassroots organizer as well, and Vote Forward was the igniter of all of this. So I actually got started via social media. I was scrolling, and I saw my friend Tori Trowbridge post about letter writing, and I thought that I really needed to be involved. I was looking for something active to do that was easy and at home and something that I had control over in a safe place. And that was letter writing. and that was Vote Forward. So since that moment, I have organized a group of friends along with Tori. We've gotten together every Thursday, and we have written over 7,500 letters together, which is amazing. And we're actually meeting later tonight to talk about Native land and Indigenous people. So thank you for acknowledging that, Megan. A little bit about Vote Forward. So Vote Forward is a 501c4 nonprofit organization, and our mission is to empower grassroots volunteers, help register voters from underrepresented demographics, and encourage them to vote. We built tools to enable Americans wherever they may be to encourage fellow citizens to participate in our democracy. The project initially began as an experiment conducted by Scott Foreman in Alabama to 2017, and we're gonna get into that a little bit later. But basically Scott was encouraged by the success of that test. Scott and a small group of his friends and fellow OPower alumni built this platform and empowered volunteers to take easy and effective action. And it's been great. I've had so much fun. We believe our democracy depends on everyone participating. So we volunteered our time and expertise to achieve that goal. Thank you for having me, Megan.
Yeah, thank you. And you're going to hang on and help me train everyone on letter writing, because you are like an OG letter writer yourself. You've trained, you did the Hamilton Vote Forward event as well. So you've trained the best among us. So we will get into the campaign. Can you tell us a little bit more about the Big Send?
Yes. So as you can see, there's that little dash right there. Our original goal was 10 million letters to underrepresented voters. We've surpassed that goal. And actually, I think we're really close to surpassing our 15 million letter goal now. So we started at 10 million, and then we just amped it up. We raised the goal to 15 million, and we're going to pass that, which is amazing. And all of you who are watching and here tonight are going to be a part of that. So I just think that is just a phenomenal example of us coming together for a common cause and finding easy and effective ways to reach out to voters. So
yeah.
The Big Send is tomorrow. So everyone's sending their letters, not tomorrow, I'm sorry, Saturday, October 17th. That is when everyone will be sending their letters out. And basically Vote Forward picked this date. It was very special and very thought out. So obviously we didn't want to send it too early or too late. This was decided to be the perfect time to reach out to voters and encourage them to vote. So October 17th is our Big Send date.
Yeah, it's so exciting that it's almost here. By the way, last night I did, the group I organized with Swing Left Austin had our last weekly letter writing event, and we were at 14.2, I think, because we always show the tracker. So in just like less than 24 hours, we're at 14.82 million, which is crazy and amazing. And I'm so impressed.
I'm so impressed too.
We're doing it. So now we're going to get into the letter training portion. So what is letter writing? I like to call it the OG email, or for the youths, sliding into DMs, but the DMs are a mailbox. So Tiana, can you tell us a little bit more about what these letters are underneath the Vote Forward template, and why we're keeping things a little bit more nonpartisan?
Yes. So as you can see, that is the letter that we are using. That's the template that we're using on the right. Very, very simple. You have a large section right there to basically write a statement to your voter. We're going to talk about it a little bit later, but your voter is actually located at the bottom of that page. So make sure that you're writing to the correct person. Sometimes people mix this up. So you want to use that voter at the bottom. Nonpartisan has been the most effective way to reach people. You don't want to assume that they're voting in any particular way, but you do want to make sure that they're personalized and to the voter as well as personal to you. So using things that are important to you or at stake in this election for you personally are going to be the most effective.
Yeah, and Erica mentioned there are some campaigns on the Vote Forward website. Like I know there was a Swing Left and a Supermajority one that are likely Dem voters, but the majority of the other state campaigns are in general low propensity voters. So really focusing on turning out the vote versus telling them who to vote for.
Exactly.
Cool. Yeah. Switching slides. I have so many screens up.
Okay. Me too. seem like it's right
so
now.
why are we writing letters? As you mentioned, low propensity voters. We are now in the 15 million letter mark for the Big Send. And I'll have you explain a little bit more about how you guys have tested this in the past. But a bonus is that this has been a great activity, as you mentioned, a safe way to volunteer. And within Swing Left, the super states, there are people outside of the super states, like in California, who can help write Texans like me, write to voters to turn out the vote elsewhere. So can you explain a little bit more about these past examples of how Vote Forward has resulted positively for voter turnout?
Yeah, absolutely. So you have a wonderful chart right there that shows an example in Alabama. So as I mentioned before, our founder, Scott Foreman, executed this experiment, and it turned out to be highly effective. So it was a randomized controlled trial in a special election for US Senate in Alabama in 2017. The turnout among letter recipients was 3.9 percentage points higher than turnout in the control group. So 3.4 percentage points after controlling for gender, age, and all other factors. And so after looking at that, Scott and the rest of the team just said that that was huge, right? So it appears to be one of the most effective known tactics to boost turnout.
What's so cool too is that the Big Send is the largest letter writing effort that Vote Forward's ever done. So we're going to see probably like huge numbers if it showed this much of a difference on a smaller scale. So I'm excited to see, not just for us to win all those races, but also for to see how Vote Forward has really been effective. So this is also the template we talked about before. So as Tiana mentioned, you find the address and the name at the bottom. I made this mistake the first time I wrote letters. Don't put your own return address. Vote Forward is trying to protect your safety. So you're putting one return address. I think it's the same return address for each state, right? Because I've been having the same ones for Texas. And although these letters are in English only, because that's what Vote Forward's capability are, I do encourage people who are bilingual to seek out other opportunities, because Vote Forward letter writing is supplemental to other get out the vote efforts. So there's a lot of bilingual phone banking happening right now. So definitely seek out those opportunities. Like, you know, here in Texas, we have a lot of Spanish speaking voters. So that's a huge demographic. Print is recommended. Do you want to explain the other rules of like, because I feel like, you know, you have like the knowledge bank of why y'all choose these steps?
Oh, absolutely. So as you mentioned before, you want to use the return address, again, for your own safety. And in the example that you have up here, you have Colleen, who is the volunteer, is writing a letter to Isaiah. You want to use Isaiah's full name. So first and last, obviously, you're writing the letter to the voter. But for yourself, you want to just use your first name and your last initial. The return address, again, is going to be at the bottom. Make sure, this is the most important thing, make sure the voter that you are writing to is at the bottom. It also correlates with the person you're writing to at the top and your envelope, so everything is cohesive and good. Again, print is recommended. Partial for full name, as I mentioned. Blue ink is preferred. And actually, my friend Tori has been using a highlighter, so I kind of stole that idea as well. And I've been writing just a little highlighted box around Tuesday, November 3rd. And also doing a little part by a volunteer prepared this letter, because I think, you know, being a volunteer, all of you tonight are volunteers. I think it's important to recognize that. And when you're writing letters, just reminding the voter that you're a volunteer and no one's paying you to write these letters. And so I think it's a little bit more heartfelt and personal that way as well. So
I love that. That's a new, like, we've been doing these each week and we're like, okay, we know the customizable parts, but that's so thoughtful, because I think that's a huge reason why this is effective, is that it's volunteer to volunteer. It's voter to voter, essentially.
Exactly. And there's also one other thing I want to point out at the bottom there. As I write more letters, I'm just noticing more and more things, but there is a little code for the voter to use. So I've been highlighting that, as well as the hyperlink that's next to it, so that they can just scroll down to the bottom, look at the bottom of the page and see where they can find more information on voting rules for their county and anything like that. Also, I just want to talk about the messaging shortly. Obviously, we talked about nonpartisan, but you want to make sure that it's relatively concise. Oh, here we are.
Perfect. Perfect transition.
Yeah. But you just want to make sure it's short and sweet. I'm sure you're going to go over all the examples, but as you can see, the examples on the right there, 1 to 2 sentences. Like in life, I sort of ramble on a little bit, so I get carried away in my letter writing sometimes. It's taken me a little longer, so I can be better about that tonight. But yeah, you want to keep it short and cute.
Yeah, because keep in mind, I'm sure a lot of you adopted at least 20 letters, because that's kind of an hour, and we'll have about an hour once we're done with training. But you're writing these over and over, so it could get exhausting. Like, I've had people ask me, can I just handwrite all of the template myself instead of printing it? And I'm like, no, you don't want to do that to yourself. Like that. Those are a lot of writing cramps.
It really, really is. You'll see. You'll see.
Yeah. So yeah, short and sweet, nonpartisan's most effective. We're going to talk to all of the other creatives in a little bit about what they would write in a letter. So I'll ask you that as well, Tiana, but here are some examples that you can talk about. I've been focusing on wanting to elect leaders that represent myself and the person I'm writing to versus corporate interests. Or another one I've been using is wanting everyone to have equal access to voting, because here in Texas, we have very high voter suppression, and wanting leaders that protect those rights and not suppress those rights, which my boyfriend was like, that seems pretty partisan to me. And I'm like, why can't things just be, why can't voting be nonpartisan? But here we are.
I agree.
So I believe, yes, the send date you mentioned, this was scientifically tested October 17th. They bumped it up because, and originally it was a little bit closer to the election, but they Vote Forward wanted to be mindful of early voting and a lot of people doing mail-in ballot voting. So they've targeted this date. We're all going to send it at once, which is exciting that it's this Saturday. I can't wait to bring my bag of envelopes to the post office.
I have a friend who's written 1,000 letters.
Oh my God.
And we had a letter writing party this week as well for the group I organized, the High for Change. And he showed us his bag, and it's a giant IKEA bag, just 16, I think it's like 16 pounds, he said. It's like,
wow. 16 pounds for democracy. I love that.
I love it.
That's amazing. So now, after the party, this is very important. So if you want to run through these are the things, the checklist that y'all have created after this event.
Yes. So again, we can't emphasize this enough. Check to make sure that each letter is written to the voter listed at the bottom of the letter and matches the address on the envelope. Like, can you imagine getting a letter that, and opening it up and realizing it wasn't for you because at the top it has a different name? I mean,
that's like someone texting you and like something very emotionally involved, and then being like, oh, sorry, wrong person.
Yeah, we don't want that. That's not a good feeling, not a good look. So again, really make sure that doesn't happen. You want to seal and stamp each envelope. Mark your letters as prepared and vote forward.
Yeah.
I've actually messed up with this. I did a specific campaign for Maine targeting retired voters, encouraging them to vote by mail as a safe form of voting. And I had written all my letters, and I think I forgot to send them to prepared. I sent them off and everything, did the whole thing. So maybe some people got double letters. I failed to mark them as prepared. But you want to make sure you do that. Hold your letters until the Vote Forward campaign and mail date, Saturday, October 17th. Store them in a safe place. These babies are precious. You want to make sure they're ready. Put a reminder in your calendar on the day before Vote Forward campaign mail. And note where your letters are stored in the reminder. I mean, we're close enough, so I think you'll know where the letters are. Also, don't be afraid to post on social media, right? Tag your letters. Make sure that no addresses are in them. We don't want voters' addresses on there at all for obvious reasons. But get creative with your letters, post about them, share it with us. We want to see you writing your letters. And that's how we get more and more people involved. So if you are writing letters right now, just take a quick screenshot, maybe even of the screen, you writing letters right now, watching this live, and share it.
Tag Vote Forward. Yeah, Vote Forward will share your posts.
Yeah.
I've tagged them so many times. They're probably sick of me.
Oh, they're the best. I felt like such a celebrity when I first started writing letters, because I would tag Vote Forward or say, oh, we're writing another 20 letters this week. Blah, blah, blah. And then I'd get reposted and I was like,
yeah.
Feels so
you
good.
are a celebrity. So we have a quick question about blue ink preferred. So you can write in black ink if that's all you have. I believe blue ink just it stands out against the template of black ink. I think that's one of the reasons y'all have chosen, or I read that somewhere. But it's okay if you have black ink, but blue ink is preferred. So we'll remind you. I'm gonna send out a reminder through Mobilize. Anyone who's participating in this event, Vote Forward will remind you. Like, everyone will hound you on Saturday. So don't worry, we'll make sure you have those reminders if you haven't put them in your calendar. So now's a good time to take a minute to write on a piece of scratch paper what message you want to write. Feel free to drop it in the YouTube comments. Feel free to, share your thoughts and get feedback on your nonpartisan message. So as you do that, we're going to kick off the next portion of the evening, which is when I'll be talking to, and Tiana is going to join as well, filmmakers and actors from the Seed&Spark community who will tell us about why and how they're voting this year. So I'll introduce one by one. So first, smiling headshot you see on screen. Lisa is a digital content producer and director who served on the inaugural LGBTQ. Hi, Lisa. Hi. I'm going to recite your accolades to your face awkwardly. She's served on the inaugural LGBTQ advisory board for the city of Atlanta and is part of Seed&Spark's Creative Action Board. She's also the director of the documentary short Gay Like Me. Next up, we have Vinny, who is an actor, producer, and storyteller known for his roles as Liam in The Red Line and Raul on TNT's Animal Kingdom, as well as an executive producer for the documentary Lost in America, exploring stories of homeless youth in America. Next up, we have Janina, who is a writer, director, actor, and producer known for her roles in The Way Back, The Morning Show, True Blood, and The L Word, to name a few. She's also part of Seed&Spark's Creative Action Board, and her horror short, Stucco, am I pronouncing that right?
Yeah.
Was special jury winner at South by Southwest 2020. And next, we have Sujata. Sujata is a writer, director, actor, and producer. She is best known for her roles as Cece in Issa Rae's web series, The Misadventures of Awkward Black Girl, and Sarah in Insecure. She also wrote, produced, directed, and starred in her latest film, Definition Please, which got some accolades from Mindy Kaling I saw on Twitter recently. I Twitter stalked. And Tiana, I've already introduced, but she is also, when she's not volunteering with Vote Forward, she's an actor, singer, and dancer who's performed in several Broadway productions and was the first Black Elsa in Disney's premiere of Frozen live at the Hyperion. I'm not from LA, so I'm probably pronouncing that wrong. On TV, she's starred in Hairspray Live, Grease Live, and appears on The Good Place and Silicon Valley. Thank you all for joining me. I'm so grateful for your presence and your work. So I'll go around the headshots around the circle, and I'll ask each of you the two questions. So we'll go one by one. So Tiana, if you want to kick it off, what would you write in a Vote Forward letter to explain why you vote in each election?
So I switch off between several different statements, but I have really fallen in love with, I vote in every election because my voice matters. I used to think that my voice had no place in politics, but that was far from the truth. I haven't memorized because, right. That was far from the truth. My vote counts just as much as the richest person in America, which means that we all have a say in the future of this country. Let's use our superpower. I told you I write a lot. Like, this is too much. Let's use our superpower of choice and vote together November 3rd. That's been my go-to.
I love that. I love thinking that my vote, it has equal weight to Bezos because he is like my arch nemesis, even though he doesn't know who I am. He is like Dr. Claw to me. But yeah, but we have the same weight of voting. Lisa, what would you write in a vote forward letter to explain why you vote in each election?
Well, mine would probably be a little too long, so I need to streamline it, okay?
We have all writers here, so it's going to be hard for us to keep it concise.
But specifically, I'm so mystified at how many elections get decided by such small amounts, right? And so I got a friend here in Atlanta, Park Cannon, who won once she's a state rep, she won under 25 votes, and it's like, this happens every day, every election across the country, Democrat, Republican, it doesn't matter. And it's just mind-boggling because when we start thinking about the numbers of the way the country's broken down right now with millennials and Gen X and baby boomers, right? Those millennials have the opportunity to literally hijack every election if they really wanted to, right? And put in, the next generation that can really have, the voice for the future. So I think my letter would really talk to, I would quantify that your voice really does, your vote really does count, and it's the voice. Your voice can be the voice of the next generation. So.
Yeah, it's crazy how few votes distinguished winners. We've been interviewing House candidates here in Texas each week during our letter writing portions, and they're telling us, a lot of them ran in 2018, and they're telling us that they lost by just a couple thousand votes. Yeah, it's wild.
It's crazy.
All right. Vinny, what would you write in a vote forward letter to explain why you vote in each election?
I think somebody may have already made this point, but because there are real world consequences when you don't. So if we're looking at even the so many people that didn't vote in 2016, in the next 3 months, whether it's healthcare, whether it's your right to vote, whether you have control over your own body, all those things are on the ballot. All those things were on the ballot in 2018, 2016, and on and on and on. So, and by the way, this is just a presidential election. Think about, I think Lisa talked about it, municipal elections, state elections. The type of voter suppression you're talking about is happening on the state level, in state legislatures and governors. Meghan, you and I were talking about Texas. That was a gubernatorial race. That wasn't just, once every 4 years. So I think when you vote, you have a voice in how your life is going to function literally every single day. And every single choice you make is going to be informed by that vote, whether you like it or not.
Those down ballot races are huge. So everyone keeps scrolling. They got rid of being able to vote on a party line in Texas. So people don't realize your city council members are at the bottom of your ballot. And those are the people that are most likely to pick up the phone when you call, essentially. They're most impactful on your day to day. They were the ones that we were all calling this summer to talk about defunding the police. So those are the ones you have to keep in mind, not just, the high up positions on the federal level. So Janina, I'm just going in a circle here.
Sure.
What would you write in a vote forward letter to explain why you vote in each election?
Well, first I want to say, Lisa brought up millennials. Millennials are 40 now. So we're old news. The most exciting thing is a person who just turned 18. This is their first election, and presidential election. It's as we all know, it feels a little bit like an existential moment. I think that the conversation this year is heightened for so many very reasons, but so many so very many reasons, but every single election matters. I don't know if there's anything else I can add to what everybody said already, but those local elections matter. And also, you can be on that ballot. I find myself trying to find the youngest people I can and trying to empower them to realize not only does your vote matter as much as Jeff Bezos, but you being on any council gives you as much power as any boomer. So run. Don't just vote, but run, because you get to actually make decisions and demystify the entire process. So that's a step beyond just voting, of course. But I do hope that this very loud, aggressive election year doesn't just empower people to vote, but also run and make a difference in the areas they believe in.
Yeah, I just want to jump in here. This is the official campaign announcement. Janina's running for the Senate. I'm running her campaign.
No, maybe not this year, but like, give me like a few years. I might just be like, okay, it's time. I've talked so much shit. I have to run now. I know. It's just like, but honestly, it's just like, it's the next generation that needs to know that they have so much more power than people pretend they do. You are just as worthy as anyone who seems to be in power. Yeah,
definitely. Yeah, we've seen it from 2016 to 2018. The more women, more people of color have won seats in Congress and on the state level. And the same thing's happening in 2020. It's like, we want to get those old white guys out. We need to, people like that look like us and represent us have to run. And just, so those guys can die off. I'm going to get like people after me that were like, you threatened every white man. I'm probably already on the list in Texas. Sujata, what would you write in a vote forward letter to explain why you vote in each election?
Yeah, I mean, I would try to make it personal. I'm from the lily white suburbs of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and I actually had an amazing childhood growing up, and I'm a very successful product of the public education system. And so I would want to focus on, like many of you have said before, the next generation. And I truly believe in having really great, amazing education for all children, no matter where you come from, no matter what city you live in or what state. And I loved my public school, and I'm a huge, I talk about my school all the time. And so I would really focus on my home state of Pennsylvania, number one, because it's a huge swing state, and just talk about how important it is for all of our children to have the best and safe education possible. And
that's huge right now, especially with COVID happening. And, very negligent decisions are being made by a lot of our lawmakers that aren't thinking about the safety of children. So that's a really great example of like honing in on a specific issue.
Yes. Also, I just want to jump in really quickly. We lost in Pennsylvania by 1%.
Yeah.
In 2016. So the stakes are huge, and that just goes to show you, if you didn't vote in 2016, where could we have been? So now is the opportunity. And I phone banked in Pennsylvania actually 2 weeks ago, and I was really encouraged by how many people I called that were actually phone banking, volunteering their time as well. So I think in Pennsylvania, yes. I was surprised, actually.
Randomly?
Don't sleep on it, though. Don't sleep on it. Still hustle and still phone bank. But I was surprised for sure.
That's awesome. I may need to switch over to Pennsylvania phone banking, because I did Texas a couple weeks ago, and I'm like, oh, this reminds me of like the immediate rejection I'd get as like being a comedian on stage. Like a Democrat in Texas phone banking can be rough.
Oh my God.
But also don't sleep on us, because we are becoming purple. All right, Tiana, what's your voting plan? This is my favorite question to ask people right now.
So I'm voting by mail. I actually just got my ballot, so I'm ready to put that baby in the mail, send her off, and I'm going to make sure that I'm tracking my ballot. Where's my ballot? There's so many different resources, but I plan on using Where's My Ballot.
And you're in California, where they allow. Yeah, we still have these ridiculous strict rules that not everyone can do mail-in ballot voting. So, Vinny, how about you? What's your voting plan?
I got my ballot in mail, filled it out, took it to the drop box in Las Feliz, and I'm like, good. The next step after that, I do want to say, like, in this election, and I think that this panel is emblematic of that, it's not enough to vote. Have to do other stuff, whether it's phone banking, text banking, volunteering at the polls, which is like something I learned about I didn't realize, like, most poll workers are like 60 years old.
Yeah.
That is wild.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, so yeah, I'm done though. I'm good as far as voting is concerned.
That's the best endorsement for the last weekends. There's like a graphic above you that says, "Don't just vote, volunteer."
Yeah.
I just saw it. Yeah.
But it's true. Like, there's so many, like, voting, yes, is wonderful, but there's so many other ways we can extend and find ways to reach people who aren't planning to vote.
Yeah.
Janina, what's your voting plan?
I'm already done. I dropped my ballot off in a ballot box, and I was like trying to make a super cute Instagram video of it while I was doing it, and just like get my little walkover and do the thing. And I did 3 takes of it, and then that person behind me in the car that was behind me had pulled up and had watched me fail, and but they were like, we sort of had like a social distance laugh, and we were like, woohoo, you know. I have no idea who they voted for. It doesn't matter. We're just voting, you know. Yeah. And of course I had a ballot tracker, and right before this happened, I got it. It's done. It has been taken in and counted.
That's amazing. That's cool. You get a digital sticker. I also love the idea of, like, taking a picture of when you're voting. My boyfriend shames me because whenever I volunteer, like whether I'm doing a lit drop or phone banking, I take a picture and post it on social, and he's like, shouldn't it not be about that? And I'm like, no, I'm shaming my friends so that when they see it, they'll be like, oh, because when I see my other friends like volunteering on a day I took a break, I'm like, oh, I'm not doing enough. So if you have a conscience like me, like, guilt your friends.
Sometimes it's just a reminder. At the very least, it's a reminder. You know, when you see an advertisement for crest whitening strips, you go, oh yeah, I got to do that. And then you just order it or whatever. You know, like, this is just reminding people at the very least. Behind them.
Yes. Subliminal messages for voting.
Absolutely. There's power in FOMO. I think we all know that.
Yes.
Steve Pearson from Swing Left, he does the How We Win podcast, right? He spoke to our group and hung out for one meeting and talked about that, and was talking about the power in really getting a group of people together and then expanding that and that outreach. So when you volunteer, grab a few friends. When you want to phone bank, text a few friends and have them do it with you. Make sure that your family is all registered to vote. I mean, hopefully at this point that's all done, but not all registered to vote, but D down the ticket, okay? Just making sure that everyone is all set up that way. But yeah, I agree, Megan. Posting on social media.
Shame. Yeah, that's a great example of relational organizing, which I learned about this year. And it's like using your own network, using the friends and family, like checking in with them, texting them, being like, hey, did you know there's early voting up until this day? But yes, Lisa, what is your voting plan?
Well, it's shameless is what it is.
Lisa, you're in Georgia, right?
I'm in Georgia. And so I have to shame. I feel you, because I have to shame people. So, and then it's a disaster. I literally live in the zone where it is one of the biggest cluster Fs, right?
Yeah.
So I cheat, and the way that I cheat every year is that I take my mother with me, who it will be 91 in December, and so I get to jump the line.
Yeah.
That's
So-
smart.
It's
That's like the Disney theory. It's like,
Wow, I didn't know where I was going at first. I was like, what?
yeah.
that's not cheating. That's brilliance.
Yes.
So we get and then me and my mom have voted together in every election, like literally, like even the small ones and everything. And so I always post her. So she's like my, Chewy, you know what I mean? She's like my little sidekick.
Yeah.
And it just, I think it warms everyone's heart too, because I mean, from a very serious standpoint, in 2008, when it was this big historic thing that happened, my mom, had tears of joy, and I was able to experience that with her. So yeah, I that's my voting plan. I'm sticking to it, and I need my mother to live for many, many more years.
We all do.
That's amazing. I love that. Sujata, what is your voting plan?
So I also live in California. I got my ballots last week. I dropped them off this week on Monday. Got my ballot tracks notification yesterday. Got my sticker, my digital sticker.
Nice.
So I'm all voted. I've definitely been, in touch with my parents because they're voting out of Pennsylvania. So they are all voted as well in Pennsylvania.
Awesome.
So I've kind of put myself in charge of them. And my mom the other day just told me that she texted 250 of her friends in
You have 250
Pennsylvania.
friends?
Listen,
God.
she's like the Indian queen of Pittsburgh. So
Yeah, I was about to say, it's like the Auntie Network.
Auntie Network.
yeah, she's the Auntie Network. She's got the Auntie Network activated, and
I love
so it's been really great just hearing the updates from her.
That's amazing. I love that so much. What like a range, what a reach you're able to get within your own network. So full transparency, I've not voted yet. I know I feel so shameful.
No,
I have 3 weeks for early voting, which is awesome. But I'm also like trying to be strategic because the lines have been crazy here in Texas because there's only like one ballot drop off location per county. So the lines have been long. But I'm going to probably go Monday, which is start of the second week of early voting. And I go to this location that like there's never anyone there during early voting. And it's technically like a publicly funded Dave & Buster's. It's called Millennium Youth Complex. And what I love about it is when I vote, I hear like arcade games in the background. So it's like Mortal Kombat saying, finish him. And I feel like it's appropriate. I feel like it's perfect.
Yeah, it's on message.
Yes. So I'm so excited I'm so glad y'all have been so active in communicating with the people around you and getting out the vote. Thank you again for joining us. We're going to switch over to the music portion. So if you haven't started writing letters yet for those watching, this is an awesome opportunity because you get to listen to music while you write letters. So thank you all again for joining. Grateful for the work you're doing and for lending your talents and your voice to this event.
Thank you for
Thank you
having
so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye. Thanks, everyone.
All right.
Bye.
Take care. Bye-bye.
All right, we're going to switch back over to introduce our first musical guest. So we're just transitioning here. All righty. We can bring up the slide to introduce our first musical guest. Jenny Kwon is a neo-soul pop artist from Orange County. She's releasing a new single called Are You Even Thinking About Me tomorrow, which you get to have a sneak peek on because she's about to play that for you. So you can pre-save her song, which really helps her music get heard more widely. The link will be in the comments to pre-save her new release, so make sure to listen to it and add it to your playlist. Please welcome Jenny Kwon.
Hello. Let me switch over to the comments over here. Hello. Hi, thank you so much for having me. Thank you, Shay, for having me. Super excited to sing for you guys. Yeah, this election's been a little bit scary, obviously, but I'm really glad to see all the work that everyone's doing. And yeah, thank you so much for having me. This first song is called Floatin'. there's a yearning, holding on to feelings of the past. I'm trying to run to you, but I'm floating. Would you understand if I asked? Ooh, can you hold me down, or will I float away? Oh, gravity will always find its way. Oh, wish that I could see what's ahead of me, but the clouds won't fade from my eyes. I wish that I could breathe, but I'm floating deep inside my heart. I know the prize. Ooh, can you hold me down, or if I float away? Oh, gravity will always find its way. Can you hold me down, or will I float away? Gravity will always find its way. Thank you. I'm gonna grab my water really quick. Awesome. That song was called Floatin'. It's off of my upcoming album that I may or may not be releasing next month. But for now, I do have a song coming out tomorrow. And yeah, I will sing that for you later. But first, this song is called QLC. Thank you. Fancy cars and hotel rooms and a whole lot of feelings that I'd like to lose. To think my life would lead up to that moment. But truth be told, my bet's not made, and my credit card's got a lot at stake. There's too much that I wanna do to just do it. Don't know what I'm looking for. I don't know what I'm working for. I don't know what I'm waiting for. Don't know what I'm looking for. I don't know what I'm working for. I don't know what I'm waiting for. Sometimes I just need some space. I don't like what I see on my dinner plate. I'm always the first one to run away, so can I do it? Do you believe that life would just pass you by if you decided to come back another time? Don't know what I'm looking for. I don't know what I'm working for. Don't know what I'm waiting for. Don't know what I'm working for. Don't know what I'm working for. Don't know what I'm waiting for. Don't know what I'm waiting for. No. Thank you. I see your comments. Thank you. They're actually dying a little bit. My plants. I'm really bad at taking care of plants. But hopefully that'll change. Will I do anything to change it? Probably not. Thank you so much. All right. Going to sing my last song for you guys. This is a song that's coming out actually tonight, 9 p.m. PST. Yeah, it's called Are You Even Thinking About Me? Thank you for listening. Thank you for being here. I appreciate your presence and everything that you're doing. Thank you, Shay. Thank you. Thank you, Nolan. That's Nolan. I painted a picture with you all over it. Imagine my future, you in my arms forever, forever. Yeah. I just wanna see you and touch you and feel you. All that I'm wondering, what you are doing. What are you doing? Are you even thinking about me? Yeah, yeah. Do you even miss me? 'Cause I miss you, and all I do is think about you, babe. And all I do is think about you. Are you even thinking about me? Yeah, yeah. Do you even miss me? 'Cause I miss you, and all I do is think about you, babe. And all I do is think about you. Ooh. Everything's better when we're together. Tell me you see it. Tell me you feel the same way. Same way. Ooh. Are you even thinking about me? Yeah. Yeah. Do you even miss me? 'Cause I miss you, and all I do is think about you, babe. And all I do is think about you. Are you even thinking about me? Yeah, yeah. Do you even miss me? 'Cause I miss you, and all I do is think about you, babe. And all I do is think about you. I need validation, 'cause everything I do is for you. I don't wanna chance it. Don't wanna be left in the cold. Ooh, yeah. Do you even miss me? 'Cause I miss you. Yeah, yeah. And all I do is, are you even thinking about me? Ooh. Do you even miss me? 'Cause I miss you, and all I do is think about you, babe. And all I do is think about you, yeah. Cool. Thank you so much for having me. My song comes out tomorrow. Very excited. My name is Jenny Kwon. That's Nolan. Thank you.
Thank you, Jenny. That was beautiful. I know this is going to offend a lot of people, but Ariana Grande who? Because that was so good. I was getting like real like 90s R&B vibe. I'm excited to download your single tomorrow. So yes, please follow Jenny Kwon Music at Jenny Kwon Music. You can see below, and we will bring on the next guest. Thank you both. So our next guest, really excited for this next performance, who created this combination of music talents for this evening. So this is really an exclusive premiere of Momo, who are made up of Taylor Blake. And I need to read the intro. I forget I have like 15 screens up. I just learned how to read the comments on here. So Momo is a jazz duo made up by Taylor Blake and Alex Zuniga Withmary. Taylor is a multi-instrumentalist studying jazz at CSUN. Alex is a drummer and percussionist from Lima, Peru, who plays many different styles in multiple bands, one of which, the Afro-Peruvian Jazz Orchestra, was just nominated for a Latin Grammy. So you can find links to their music in the comments. So I'm so excited to introduce Momo.
Hi, I'm Taylor.
I'm Alex.
And we're going to play some jazz for you today.
Yeah.
a song called Smile by Charlie Chaplin. It's a standard, and we played it in 7/8, so that makes it a little bit different than the way it's normally played. Cool. So we actually have one more song left for you. And it's an original of mine, which started out as just a chord progression that we just kind of turned into this little groovy, funky thing with some funny lyrics at the end. So keep your ears open for that.
Oh, I'm on mute. That was so beautiful. This may offend a totally different crowd, but Vince Guaraldi Trio wishes. So I'm gonna put that out there. And Momo, I think the masses are gonna want a full album. I know you formed for this event only, but I think you're gonna get a lot of bookings out of this. I really enjoyed that. That was perfect letter writing music. So we're gonna bring on our final guest. Thank you again, both of you. And the link to both of their music will be in the chat. So our next guest, our final musical guest of the evening, and I'm going to pull up his intro. Rayvon Owen is a singer-songwriter from Richmond, Virginia. You may have seen him singing on TV or hosting The Sims. Check out his most recent EP release and latest music video. Links are in the comments. Really excited. Make a lot of noise at home for Rayvon Owen.
What's up, everybody? It's your boy Rayvon Owen. We're gonna have a little fun while you guys write some letters. I love it. This is my song, Honesty. You're not home, all alone, wishing you would make some time for me. Empty bed, you left your sin, hated when you leave me alone again. But why you only call when you ain't sober? I don't wanna fake it, want some real love. I ain't on that fiction, want some real love, real love. Give me your honesty and I'll give you all of me. Just give it to me straight, I need you desperately. Why you only call when you ain't sober? I don't wanna fake it, want some real love. Give me your honesty, give me your honesty, yes. This goes out to our leadership, okay? Know that we are meant to be. All my friends think that you're no good for me. Here I lay, half awake, just in case. I'll leave the light on for you, babe. But why you only call when you ain't sober? I don't wanna fake it, want some real love. I ain't on that fiction, want some real love. Some real love. Hey, give me your honesty and I'll give you all of me. Just give it to me straight, I need you desperately. Why you only go when you ain't sober? I don't wanna fake it, want some real love. So give me your honesty, give me your honesty, yes. Did you forget promises you made to me? You ain't here, I ain't gon' put that blame on me. Nah, did you forget promises you made to me? And you ain't here, I ain't gon' put that blame on me. Give me your honesty and I'll give you all of me, yeah. Just give it to me straight. I need you. Hey, I don't wanna fake it, want some real love. So give me your honesty, give me your honesty, yes. Woo! What's up, Seed&Spark? What's up, Vote For It, Swing Left? It's Rayvon Owen. Man, everybody, Jenny, everyone is sounding literally incredible. Like, I'm so honored to be a part of this night. I see I'm only coming out on one side of the speaker. I'm not sure why. I'll try to fix it if possible. But I'm super honored to be here to play some music for you guys while we write letters. Super important to help and get the vote turned out. So this is my song, one of my first songs I released. It's called Rescue. I was broken down when you found me. Just a heart blade dry in your hand. There was no way out. was drowning. I had one last beat in my chest, in all of the madness, you're not afraid. Out of the darkness, you find a way when nothing can set me free. Baby, you rescue me. In all of the madness, you're not afraid. Out of the darkness, you find the way when nothing can set me free. Baby, you rescue me. I lost all my love. There was no fire, just a heart gone cold underground. Yes. Oh, I saw your face for the first time. I found one last beat in my chest. Oh, in all of the madness, I'm not afraid. Out of the darkness, you find a way when nothing can set me free. Baby, you rescue me. Baby, you rescue me. Baby, you rescue me when nothing can set me free. Baby, you rescue me. We shall overcome. We shall overcome. We shall overcome someday. Oh, deep in my heart, I do believe that we shall overcome someday. Thank you guys so much. Woo. Man, I'm so honored. This whole election process is super important. So events like these, I'm very. Oh, you can see my little dog. You see my little doggy peeking out? You gonna say hi? They're so tired. I haven't been showing them attention today. They're getting spoiled. Anybody else's dogs getting spoiled in quarantine? I bet. So this last song is kind of my anthem right now, and for what we're doing. It's like, no matter what we're going through, y'all, no matter what difficulties we may face, no matter what we're up against, we can use our voice. We got this. This song is called Got It. Hope you enjoy. Come on, make your voice be heard, y'all. Woo! Let's go. Yeah. You gotta stick to your reality. You'll never be up in the galaxy, but baby boy, I'll be the star you see. Yeah. And you'll never reach me. Nah. Cause you're stuck up in your time zone, never really getting off your phone, causing all of this anxiety. Get that off of me, give it off to someone. I've been working all day. I'm living life in my ways. I'm done being patient, have fun replacing. All I gotta say, I got it. 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 Through the pain, breaking chains. And no more games. Said, what's my name, y'all? Through the pain, breaking chains. Say that you'll see me. We're far from the ground, higher than clouds. We're on a level, how can they settle? We won't look down. Say you only need me in a past life. Say you only see me when I drive by. On my own, I don't see enough of mine. Don't call me when you need it, cause I'm not gonna hold you and show you, cause I see right through you. All that darkness, y'all, we off that ride. So get it off of me, get it off of me, baby. I don't need your anxiety, no, no. Hey, I've been working all day. I know y'all working. We're living life in our ways, yes. Y'all, we're done being patient. Have fun replacing. Hey, all we gotta say, we got it. I got it. Hey, I got it. We got it. I got it. I got it. I got it. Oh, through the pain, break the chains. On my games, say what's my name? Got it. Oh, so sad that you'll see us. We're far from the ground, higher than clouds. We're on a level, how can we settle? I won't look down. Thank you guys so much. Thank you so much for volunteering your times to write these letters to these swing voters. Y'all, let's get out the vote and let's do the damn thing. So honored. Thank you, Seed&Spark.
Thank you. Thank you, Rayvon. That was amazing. Oh my God, that was so good. It like hit all the emotions. I was like up, down. I'm going to play that last song when I get my I voted sticker. Like, got it. That was so good.
We got you.
So good. Thank you again for lending your talents. All right, y'all, that was incredible. We had such a stacked night. I want to do a quick plug. As we mentioned earlier, Erica mentioned this, the last weekends are Swing Left's big push to get people to not just vote, but volunteer and make a commitment to do so through the link we'll provide in the comments, which is lastweekends.org. There are still so many ways to help turn out the vote leading into Election Day, from phone banking, text banking, safe lit drops. As poll workers, Vinny mentioned, I think it was Vinny earlier, you can be a poll concierge as well. I just found some options here in Travis County, making sure people can vote safely and stay in the line and providing snacks and drinks. So thank you again to partners Swing Left and Vote Forward, as well as guests Erica, Tiana, Janina, Vinny, Lisa, Sujata, and musicians Jenny Kwon, Momo, and Rayvon Owen. That was incredible. I'm so grateful for their talents and their commitment to get out the vote. And thank you for all of you doing the work and making sure our voices are heard this Election Day. I know we probably have about 10 minutes left of the event. I am not musically talented, so I won't play you out. But I do recommend putting on some music and, you know, lighting a candle, setting the mood, finishing your letters. You've got until Saturday to mail them out. So make sure to mail them out Saturday. So, and finish out that list. Be safe, stay healthy, and go vote. Thank you, everybody.